active and passive voice. In this video, we're going to have a go at turning active voice sentences into passive voice, and turning passive voice sentences into active voice. A few things to know before we get started. The subject of the sentence is the person or thing that the sentence is about. The subject of the sentence always comes before the main verb. For example, the subject in this sentence is my grandmother. My grandmother baked the cake. And the subject in this sentence is the cake. The cake was baked by my grandmother. Now we know what the subject is, let's move on to the agent. The agent of the sentence is the person or thing that performs the action. Think of the agent as the actor in a sentence. In our first sentence, the agent is my grandmother, because she is performing the action. She's baking. In our second sentence, the agent is also my grandmother, because again, she's doing the baking. When the subject and the agent of the sentence are the same, as is the case in this sentence, active voice is being used. When the subject and the agent are different, like in this sentence, passive voice is being used. That's a very brief overview. Check out our other video using the link in the video description for a more detailed explanation. Active voice is used when we want our writing to be strong and direct. It focuses on the action. Passive voice might be used when the actor is unknown or irrelevant. We might use passive voice if we want to avoid blame. Now it's time to practice turning active voice to passive voice. Here are 4 sentences taken from a news report about a storm. Each is written in active voice because the subject and the agent are the same. Rewrite them into passive voice. Pause here while you work. Let's see how you went. The first. The city was hit by a severe storm yesterday, causing widespread damage. We know this is a passive voice sentence because the subject and the agent are different. The subject is the city, but the agent is a severe storm. In this passive voice sentence, the emphasis is now on the city. The second. Residents were urged to stay indoors by officials until the cleanup is complete. Here is our subject. Here is our agent. In this sentence, the agent might not be necessary. Because we're using passive voice, we can leave it out. Residents were urged to stay indoors until the cleanup is complete. The third. Debris was cleared from the streets by local volunteers. Debris is the subject, local volunteers the agent. The last. Trees were uprooted and power lines knocked down by strong winds. Now let's practice turning passive voice to active voice. Here are our 4 sentences. These sentences are in the passive voice because the subject and the agent in each are different. Rewrite each in active voice. Pause here while you work. Let's see how you went. The first. The umpire blew the whistle. In the passive sentence, the subject is the whistle and the agent is the umpire. Now here in our active sentence, the subject and the agent are the same, the umpire. The second sentence. The visiting team won the match. The subject is the visiting team and the agent is the visiting team. Number 3. Molly scored 2 goals in the first half. Molly is now the subject and the agent. Number 4. The goalkeeper saved the penalty kick. How did you go with those? Before we finish, here's an activity. Some of these sentences are written in active voice, and some are written in passive voice. Work out which is which. Rewrite the passive sentences in the active voice, and the active sentences in the passive voice. When you're writing in the passive, you might decide to leave out the agent. I'd love to see your answers in the comments below. Thanks for following along, and I hope to see you soon for the next lesson. EasyTeaching.net